Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy New Year from 118 Seth Shadow. Well, with the new year getting started, we're going to start off today's Market Watch taking a quick look at what's upcoming for new Shadowverse product for the next few months. So, January is going to be a break. There's nothing that we're going to be getting during January's time frame. And during the January time frame, we're going to have the last minute qualifiers for Worlds, which will occur in February. So if you are able to go ahead, check it out. And if you win or you top, you get to go to Worlds. And good luck. But taking a look at product, the next one that we're going to get is going to be at the beginning of February, and it's Booster Set 3, Flame of Leviatine. Then in April, we're going to get Booster Set 4, Cosmic Mythos, which both of them have collaborations. I know Cosmic Mythos has the collaboration with Code Geass, but I was just taking a look at Flame of Leviatine earlier, and I didn't notice this before, but there is a collaboration with Niji Sanji that's going to happen with Booster Set 3. So, if you're a fan of Niji Sanji, there's a collaboration tab here, although I haven't seen as many details about this one, so I'm not sure how well that Bushiroad's trying to promote this one. Now, let's go ahead and go into singles. The first one we're going to talk about is Soul Dealer. We haven't covered this one for a little while, and this is one of the bigger cards right now for Abysscraft. It's still holding at around a $10 rate for its base version, and hasn't really shifted much from that. It overall looks like it has a drop based on the graph. Market price wise, it has been higher. It did have the initial takeoff back when Heavenly Aegis and this card got bought out, and this card did get bought to some degree, but it's not bought as much at a high price anymore. Looking at sales, it's still a pretty consistent sell from $9 to $12 overall from the last month. And I would imagine that it will continue to be a good support option going forward. Soul Conversion is still a pretty expensive rare from set 1 right now. Well, I say rare, but I should be saying silver. It's only got 6 listings right now, and now the base price of this card is $3. There is a $1.15 copy, but it has a $2 shipping tag and only 1 copy available. Basically, all the cheap copies right now that are under that $3 mark have few quantities or really high shipping tags associated with them. So this card is moving further and further and further up as we go. And good reason, it is a generic right now when it comes to Abysscraft. I've pointed out this card every so often. It's pretty much the only non-neutral silver that has maintained a dollar price tag, or at least close to it, for quite a while, and probably will for a while to come. Speaking of dollar silvers, we've also got Demonic Strike, which is a neutral from set 1, and this one has been on a downtrend. It used to be up in the $3 range. It's still getting bought at $1 and above, closer to $1.20, and most of its listings currently sit at $1.20 right now. I mean, I would say it's overshadowed in a lot of cases, but it has uses, especially in decks like Runecraft, which can reuse it with Merlin, depending on the build. And overall, I mean, it's still a generic, and you can play it in any deck, so having a copy is not bad to have in your back pocket. Ricokashimoto. I wanted to point this one out, given that, I mean, this one is a good generic to have. It's a neutral Uma Musume follower, so that means you can play it in any deck regardless. But the SP, the sign, is out of stock right now, and the market price is $131 on that. Whereas we've got the Super Legendary and the regular Legendary, both under $10 for their base listings. It's $6.99 for the Super Legendary and $3.95 for the regular Legendary right now. So if you do need to pick this up, it's significantly cheaper than it was before. And honestly, having one in your back pocket is definitely a good idea. Narita Brian. This one is Swordcraft specific for Uma Musume and is a pretty good card to have. It's $370 right now if you want to pick up the regular legendary. Market price is $383. The super legendary is $1430 right now with a market price of $1639. And if you want the signed version, there are 2 listings of that at $150 right now, whereas the market price on that is $108.50. As said, it's a good one to have, and I know Puruma also tends to play this as a 1 of or 2 of, given it has its burn effect and just a lot of generic pieces to its skill that make it really strong. Silent Suzuka, with this one being in the starter deck, it overall has a lot of drop in value amongst its lower legendary rarities, where if you do want to, it's actually kind of funny. The legendary that comes out of the main set is now $1, while the one that comes out of the trial deck is still almost $6. So I think we know which one to pick on that front. But I also want to point out that right now the market price of the base sign version is $150, while the base listing is now $202. Honestly, it's a surprise to see it go that high, given what I've seen in Japan recently, but of course that's recently. Uma Musume has fallen out of favor over there, but yeah, it's over $200 if you want it now, and $100 if you want to pick up the Evo of that sign. Angelic Snipe, we got a lot of quantities thrown on the market for $6 plus another bit of shipping, and now the card is about $7.50 after that. So it's definitely under the $10 mark that it was holding at for quite some time. So if you do want to pick up a few extra copies, this is the alternate art promo. Probably a decent idea to just have some in your back pocket. The same goes for Angelic Barrage, which now has listings below $5. By a bit of change, of course, and then it's a $6 card, but now that we've gone through the entirety of the regional tournaments besides the besides the late qualifiers, yeah, this card has fallen off quite a bit with the amount of quantities that are now available, along with the 20 listings it now has. So if you got rid of these early, well, yeah, it was a given that they would sell at least to some degree pretty early, but yeah, with more listings on the market now, it was a given that this was going to go down pretty far. Leonitis, the promo version of the base form, finally started to see a buyout. Players have been buying all those quantities that were underneath $20 over the last few days and weeks, and more recently there were some sells right along the $30 mark. Now there are only 2 listings left. One of them is mine, which has just been sitting at $50 for a while. Still contemplating if I need to decrease that, probably do, but yeah, I honestly don't think this can sell at $50, but we'll see what happens. Advent of Genesis booster boxes. So we're going to go into product to wrap up our market watch. Booster boxes for the original set of Advent of Genesis are now $40.88 minimum, so basically $41, and that's with free shipping. And we have a number of quantities available at that rate, so if you do want to pick up boxes, they are a lot cheaper than they used to be. I will warn you that these are likely second printings, which means they will not have box topper promos. If you really want to make sure that they have box topper promos, you'll want to consult with who you're buying from first, but I'm pretty sure that first editions of this box are long gone. Rom Bahamut booster boxes are still more expensive at $50 right now. Honestly, with Advent of Genesis being $40, I don't see much of a reason for this to be at $50, given that there aren't as many. I just don't see it. But I guess it's also because Advent of Genesis has an enormous amount of printings in comparison to Rom Bahamut, so there aren't as many of this on the market. But I could see this continue to go down as well with time. And then, of course, to wrap it up, we've got the Uma Musume booster boxes, which are actually lower than Rom Bahamut right now. You can pick these up for $43 a piece or higher, and there are a number of quantities available under $50. At this point, I'd say that's I'd say that's kind of a given that the main value in this set really just lies with about 2 legendaries and then the sign cards and anything higher. Otherwise, there isn't too much value to come out of this, given that most of the big legendaries that you want already come out of the trial deck, which is $15 at this point, $15, $16. So, yeah. It's still interesting to see how Rom Bahamut still exceeds this box's price, given that it's older too, and probably not as picked up anymore. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Looking forward to this new year with a lot more market watches to come. I will see you guys later. Have a good day.